I received the following letter. My husband Gene has a difficult enough time struggling with being right in our relationship, but when he gets behind the wheel of a car, he becomes impossible. Almost every second that he's driving, he's angry and pointing out what somebody is doing wrong. I can't stand to be in the car with him. And if I tell him I don't like it when he talks like that, it only gets worse. End quote. Criticizing people and being right are seductive ways of getting a sense of power over other people. When we do this, the people close to us will often become angry or resist us in other ways. There's a price to be paid when we get angry and criticize our wives, for example, but we can get away with these behaviors more easily when we do them with strangers, like with other drivers on the road. That's often why we see people who might otherwise behave like gentlemen or ladies, but once they get out on the road, they go kind of crazy. When Gene is screaming at other drivers and telling them how stupid they are, he suddenly feels in control. He feels like he knows everything. He can tell them all the things on his mind, which is more expensive for him when he does it with you. But I recognize that this is no fun for you. Even though when he's driving, he's yelling at other people, in the moments he's angry, he's quite incapable of being loving toward anybody, not just toward the other drivers. So you end up feeling quite alone and even unloved. What can you do? The first step is to recognize him as drowning. That alone can help to change your attitude toward him. He's not a monster, just an empty, frightened child having a tantrum. Do not try to get his behavior to stop. When you do, he only hears you telling him you don't love him, and then he feels even more empty and afraid, and he's even more likely to express his anger. If you want to go a step farther, you could actually try to love Gene, and listening is a big step. Instead of arguing with him and trying to stop his tirades, listen to him. Most people go on and on about something precisely because other people are not listening. Now, what would that look like? If he makes a couple of critical comments in a row about the other drivers, smile at him, look at him, and say something like, "You're right, they really are all idiots. Maybe they should all be shot." He might think you're making fun of him. Emphasize that you're not. Many drivers really are incredibly selfish and drive with little consideration for others. See what a difference it makes for you to simply agree with him. Often, this is all an angry person needs. No, you don't have to do this all day and play into his victimhood. Just agree with him a few times on each occasion that he starts his tirades at other drivers. If his road rage continues on a regular basis, there are other things you can do to be loving, and we'll talk about those in our next session.